Hello everybody, I am Torit Mahato. Welcome to Art and Purulia. The three most important things you need to do a painting are a painting surface, paints to paint with, and brushes to apply the paints. It's a common sense that a brush will make a mark on a painting surface depending on its shape and size. But it's how you use that makes the difference. Let's see how the painting brushes are generally classified and used. Before having a look at the various types of brushes, let's see the general anatomy of a brush. A brush consists of bristles tied together in a particular shape using generally a metal ferrule which is attached to a handle made of wood or plastic. The tip of the bristles is called toe, the middle part is known as the belly, and the bottom part connecting to it to the rest of the brush is known as the heel. Ferrule is the metal band connecting the bristles to the handle securely. Ferrules are made from tin, brass, aluminum or copper alloys with a nickel or chrome plating. The handle of the brush is made of materials like wood or plastic. Earlier days even bone was used. Short handled brushes are generally for watercolor or ink painting, while the long handled brushes are for oil or acrylic paint. Let's see how you should hold a brush. If you hold it too close to the bristles, you will be totally restricted in movement. And also you will keep touching the paper or canvas. For most of the painting work, you should hold it from the middle, which is also known as shoulder, which will give you a good balance and lot of freedom for movement. The movement comes not from the fingers or wrists, but the whole arm, at least from the elbow. For even more loose work, you can even hold near the end if you feel it comfortable. There are many different types of paint brushes for different styles of painting. Each of them has a specific use and task and equally confusing. The bristles can be made from animal hair or synthetic fibers. Sometimes they come in a combination of both synthetic and natural. Watercolor brushes are generally made of natural sable, synthetic sable or nylon. Oil painting brushes are usually made of natural or synthetic sable or bristle. Acrylic brushes are almost entirely nylon or synthetic. Brush sizes. The brushes are usually given numbered sizes, although there is no exact standard for their physical dimensions. From smallest to largest, the sizes are 20 by 0 through 000, 000 to 1, 2, 3 and so on till 30. But sizes 000 to 20 are most common. Let's talk about various shapes now. Based on construction, the brushes are mainly of two types, round and flat. We can further divide them based on their shape of arrangement of bristles and use. We'll discuss the most common ones, round, mop and rigger, which are round in construction, whereas flat, bright, filbert, angled and fan, which are flat in construction. Round brushes. They're excellent for various techniques including thick or thin lines, washes and fills. With a round brush, it is effortless to get variations in line width. Apart from the standard round brush, you can also find pointed round and detailed round to reach a wider variety of effects. Mop. A mop brush is thick and used mostly in watercolors for adding colors over large areas and for softening hard edges. You can also use it to remove excess water from your project. And you can make nice rounds out of this brush. Some makeup mop brushes like this one is a good alternative. Rigger. Rigger brushes come with long sharp bristles. The brush is also sometimes referred to as a liner brush. It is used for intricate outlining and detailing. Due to the fine tip, this is an excellent brush for lettering too. They can hold a good amount of paint despite being so little. You can create both smooth, continuous strokes and many short, fine detailed strokes. The detail is the main focus of this type of brush. A large paint holding capacity allows you to make smooth and continuous strokes without reinserting paint every few seconds. They are fantastic for creating fine lines. Flat brushes. Appropriately named for its wide set and flat arrangement of bristles, flat brushes come in a variety of sizes. It produces a range of strokes from thin lines to bold ones. They are also used for painting large areas and for blending. Flat brush techniques are useful for creating beautiful mountains or landscapes. This type of brush is versatile. The long bristles can lay down color patches smoothly and can make long bold strokes without much trouble. The chiseled edge provides you with the ability to make thin crisp lines. Flat brushes leave a distinctive square edge while using totally flat. Filbert. A filbert brush has a lot of usage for any painting. It's a flat brush with a rounded chiseled edge. The trimmed corners of the brush gives it a crescent shape at the head. The shape of the brush makes a floating color over round shapes effortless. The oval shape of the filbert brush makes it a versatile tool. They can hold a lot of water, which makes them useful for washes. Additionally, their bristles stay together well even after being wet. So you can use them for smooth blending and stroking. This type of brush is perfect for painting leaves, flowers, figures, and so on. Angled brush. The angled brush, or sometimes called sword brush, is a variation of the flat brush. It got its name because of the angled bristles. The clean cut edges in this type of brush makes precise stroke and coloring in tight spots easy. They also work well for curves. The lines you draw with this brush can be extremely thin when you use the tip. You can also hold the brush at an angle to draw a fuller line by touching more of its hair on the surface. Fan brush. As you may have guessed from the name, fan brushes come with a fan-shaped tip. The fanned out bristles of the brush are perfect for soft blending and smoothing out harsh lines. They are capable of creating beautiful textures that make them an ideal choice for creating realistic grass and trees. That is why this brush is mostly associated with creating natural landscape elements. You can experiment with this brush in many ways. Tapping the brush on the surface gives you a different texture compared to when you make brush strokes. Switching up your style to get different effects has always been a part of a painting. These brushes are versatile when it comes to creating these abstract and unique effects. There are some more types like stippler and deerfoot stippler, which are short, stubby and round, liner, which are elongated rounds, dagger, which looks like angle with longish hairs, used for one stroke painting like painting long leaves, etc. Then there are comb brushes, which make multiple parallel thin lines, good for painting hair and grass. There is no end to having number of brushes for different applications, but if you know how to create colors and their values, a few brushes of basic shapes of round and flat would be good enough to create masterpieces. It is understanding of basics and developing an artist's eye that is more important. Watch out for my videos on color mixing with warm and cool colors and how to match any color coming up shortly. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you.